Hey y'all. So be patient with me with the uploads. I am actually currently on a mini vacay with my husband for the holidays. Okay, Father's Day, Juneteenth. So yeah, I decided to put a pause because I'd be itching to get these uploads out. And yeah, so just be patient with my content, okay? Come on in, you guys. Okay, so this one is going to be a juicy video. Similar to my video you guys liked when I talked about Risa Tisa and I just went the heck off. It's like periodically I can tolerate the dating sector, but then it's always like I have my final straw. And this story was my final straw. So it's so funny because actually my subscribers was requesting me to talk about this. So I'm like, are we just all watching the same video and we're like all fed up? I don't even really watch videos like these, but something made me click this video because like the title looked interesting and it was a complete train wreck. Okay, so let me just explain. I would describe Ashley Dalton's channel from what she talks about. It seems like she has a very like hypergamous sprinkle type mindset and really just like puts emphasis on money a lot. Okay, so she's another one of those. And from what I can see, she's single, of course, because everyone that has the most loudest dating opinions, right? Opinions on relationships, they always can never seem to keep relationships and they're always single. Okay. And of course, to meet the criteria to be a hypergamous dating coach, from what I know, she does not have a wealthy man. She's not married to a wealthy man, but she'll tell you how to get married to one. Okay. This is 2025. All logic goes out the window because people truly believe, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, okay, we'll see what I have to say about that soon. But let me actually explain the storyline, okay? This lady in the green, she is determined to find a wealthy, rich white man that's going to take care of her. And I say that because she emphasized the word white man all throughout the video. Okay, she even emphasized phrases like hard wig, soft life. Girl, she was naming all the TikTok phrases. Okay, very cringe. You can tell she is not used to dating outside of her race. And yeah, so her plan was to meet a baller because, according to what she said, Ashley instructed her to go be with a baller. We will get into that soon. So, in order to attempt to accomplish this mission, the girl in the green, she proceeds to go on about 20 hinge dates with men. So, I think it was like 20 different men. And then eventually she ends up meeting the jackpot. Okay. She finally found her white man that's ready to take care of her, pay all her bills, shower her with money, and run off in the sunset. Okay. So, this lady meets this man, instantly quits her job. Apparently, the deal with this man, he said, because she's just so beautiful, he asked her to move out the country and he will take care of everything and provide for her. Okay, this rich man. And all Ashley had to say was, well, why did you quit your job? I didn't tell you to quit your job. And the lady responded in the green. She was like, well, you told me to date a baller. You told me to go find a baller. And I put my hand on my forehead and
Okay, let me put it like this. But anyways,
Camille gonna do is get her man. She gonna get her man, child. Uh-oh, that's him calling.
I know that's the goal. I'm gonna get me a man. Like I have to, you have to put yourself out there. We met on Hinge, so like I've been on like 20 dates on Hinge, and I just really like the guy that I'm dating now. We have
Wait. Rewind. You went on 20 dates from Hinge.
yeah 20 dates with Hinge, and it was like you could tell like who's going to help you, who's going to provide for you, who's going to make your life a little easier in life. You can just sometimes tell, like who's into black girls, who's into like 50-50. It's so weird now, you can actually like tell. Does that make sense?
No,
Like
it
you could,
does. It
yeah,
makes
you could tell who's going. Oh, sorry. You could tell who's going to provide for you and everything.
hmm
It's so weird. Like I've been on maybe like 7 dates with 7 different white men, and then like 5 like with black men, and then I end up making a strong connection with the guy I'm talking to tonight. He lives in Scottsdale. Scottsdale is like the, you know, like the Beverly Hills of like
Okay,
Arizona.
posh. Okay.
And it's like telling me like, hey, let's get on my plane and let's just go out and just go have fun tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to work. And like, I'm like thinking about quitting my job. And it's,
Quitting your job, Camille?
well, I need to have fun. Like, whatever, everything happens. Everything, whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. I'm like, I'm, I'm a lucky girl, and all good things come to me, flow through me, move through me. Everything works out for me. No one take control of me. I move through my. I know somebody said you don't know this man. Don't do it.
Oh
Don't do it.
God.
But
Camille.
he's 50. He just had a birthday, so he's 50 years old, and
Okay.
he's Jewish.
Okay. And how old are you, Camille?
30 something.
Okay, we'll go 30 something. Okay, grown.
Yeah, 37. You told me to start dating the ballers. You told
Yeah,
me, you remember?
absolutely. But I didn't say quit your job. I didn't say quit
I'm
your
only,
job. You just met this man.
I know I'm only making $20 an hour. Like,
Oh, okay.
just need some
Gonna make sure you're okay if you quit your job.
correct, correct. I think he just doesn't want to lose me. I think he doesn't want to lose me. I think he just needs some excitement in his life, if that makes sense. He's white, so I never really dated a white man before until now.
Okay. So
So
outside of having fun and giving cookie up, even if that again you're grown, you can do what you want. But what
how you
else?
know I'm giving up
What
cookie?
Camille, please. Camille, please. You give it up cookies and milk. Okay? Goodbye.
How you know I'm giving up cookie? Like, oh my God. Okay. I am. I gave up the cookie.
Yeah, we
After a
know
year and
more
a
than
half, it's
one.
been a long time.
Yeah, I know. And he
It's,
flipped, dipped, sauteed, turned it around, forward, back at this point. And
yeah.
if we then a white man who putting us on a jet plane and we had to come, why our hair ain't right, come here? What's going
I know,
on?
because I just,
Why the hair ain't right, come here?
the hard wig, soft life type of
I
thing.
get
I
it.
know.
I'm not saying they got all the way
I
be
just got
tripping,
my
but
hair done too, but it's just like,
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the problem with these dating coaches, okay? I don't even know where to begin. First of all, it's the blind leading the blind. Ashley, where is your wealthy husband? That's first and foremost. You don't have a wealthy husband. How are you talking about this topic? You don't know the freaking recipe. And it's so annoying because there will still be an idiot that will talk against what I'm saying. And I just know their talking points. They'll be like, well, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean, man, I do not care. This is a blunt channel and I just get straight to the point. What possesses you to become a dating coach? Okay, and what I mean is it's some women that cannot keep long-term relationships with anyone. They may be talking to a dude here for a little bit, talking over there for a little bit, but for the most part, they're always relatively single. So that's the first freaking problem. Single people keep people single. If you want a man, why would you call into a show where a single woman is going to teach you how to get not only a man, but a wealthy man? Secondly, I have a question for hypergamy coaches. Do you guys not understand how life works? Okay? No? No? Just nobody is life smart anymore? Nobody? Okay. This person, when I walk down the street, I will probably see 200 people that look like her. Meaning, she is an average person. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Most people are average. She has an average body. Why do hypergamy coaches always give the same advice for everybody? Everybody can't be with the ballers. Okay? That's just how life goes. There's not enough around to pass around. Hold on now. I think I'm triggering the women on YouTube that believe that life is like a la la land and a fairy tale. I tend to trigger them a lot on my channel, but you can't debate facts. Okay. So, yes, I look up stats in my video and I just asked on Google, what's the percentage of millionaires in the world? And it said 1.5%. 1% of people are ballers in the world. Okay. But yet, these hypergamy coaches, or whatever you want to call it, I'm just calling them that, the level up, the sprinkle coaches, whatever. So in general, I noticed that they give the same advice for every woman. Nothing they say is like logical and grounded in facts. They're always speaking in like a fairy tale way, a hypothetical way, a theory type of way. No, no. Look at the facts. I encourage women to read statistics. It grounds you in reality. Read psychology, research, read science, read biology. Because if you don't, and I'm speaking in general now, you are going to end up as a very illogical type of woman, like these a lot of these coaches online telling every woman to go for something that's only 1% of it is existing in the world. And it's not about, oh, you don't have an abundance mindset. No, no, no. It's that I have a realistic mindset. Okay? If you are average, your equivalent is an average person. Period. I don't know why Ashley Dalton would tell her that her equivalent is a baller. Her looks equivalent in love is the everyday guy, a truck driver. That's her equivalent. You know what I mean? But we're going to talk about this soon, how if you don't get with your equivalent and get with reality, you're going to get scammed. I blame social media because we give the same one advice for every girl, and that's literally such a detachment from reality. First of all of these girls want the wealthy man, but does the wealthy man want you? The competition, and yes, I said competition. Remember, this is a reality based conversation, okay? I mean, too much of the whole like abundance mindset rhetoric that we tend to see a lot in female spaces. I've seen this in all female spaces. It gets to a point where it becomes delusional, especially when we have these topics about rich men. No, no, no. The competition, and yes, I said competition. That's why I have this pulled up because you can see that it's been studied that females do compete for resources and for mates. Okay. So I don't override that, and that's what women tend to do is they always override psychology, science, data, and then come up with their own thing. And that's what we always see in the dating sector. So they're telling every woman, shoot for the stars, get the rich millionaire. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater. I'm just grounded in reality that there's not enough millionaires to go around for every woman because there's only 1% of them. So, yes, the competition is fierce. And you can't just be some average everyday person waking up and in the hood, overweight, average looking, talking about, well, I'm going to get the millionaire today. No, no, no. That's not how life works. That requires a specific certain type of woman to get access to that. If only 1% of millionaires exist, then there would be competition for them on the dating market. Like when I scrolled through Ashley Dalton's channel, or just channels in general like this, where it's like that sprinkle type energy, get the ballers. You can't be showing up all average looking. No special assets, no special connections, no special anything, and expecting to pull a millionaire. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rule. Like, we see it all the time. They have average wives, but it's like, well, those women are powerful women in other departments, you know? There has to be something very powerful about you. So even if their looks isn't even like all that, they might just have connections and they're into certain doors that most people can't get into. But there has to be something about you that is way above average in order to even access that type of men. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Yes, the competition is fierce. You can't just wake up in the hood. Okay, I'm going to go for a millionaire, overweight, average looking. Nothing special going on in your life. Nothing. The lady right here is as average as it gets. I'm talking in every department. Looks, what she has going on. She's making $20 an hour. A very average job in America. No, that's not how it works. And if you don't get with reality, you're going to get scammed. So, I'm going to tell you what usually happens to people who are delusional in dating. They're not grounded in reality. Usually, with these people, just like with Risa Tisa, they are going to get scammed. Okay. And I'm going to explain why. And a lot of the times, I feel like these people deserve it. Even when I was watching this show, it's on YouTube. I think it's called like Catfish or Love Scams. It was basically just a bunch of older incel type of men talking to super hot, obviously fake supermodels online. The show would piss me off so bad because it was like, first of all, if you watch the show, the people were terrible. Some of those men had wives, they were just old. The wife was old like him. They would literally be completely doing these wives wrong in order to date the young hot supermodel online. But it would piss me off because it's like, what makes your old wrinkly self think that you would qualify for a super hot supermodel? Oh, and yeah, those guys on that show, they were not balling like that. They were losers. They had nothing going on in their lives. Okay? So I know that sometimes for men, you don't have to be attractive to get the hot chick. You can have other, resources and stuff like that. Well, they didn't really have much of much. Okay? Nothing spectacular to qualify for what they were trying to go for. Their wives that they would be cheating on, that's their equivalent. Yes, that would be their equivalent. And, they would always end up going for the supermodel that's like 25 years old, 22, and getting scammed every single time. The whole time, it's not actually the supermodel. The real person is some man in Nigeria. A lot of the scams would trace back to Nigeria, the love scams. But it's like, that's what you get for being delusional and going way above your league. Yes, you're going to get scammed if you don't get with reality. Frustrating about watching that show though was a lot of the men and women, they just did not want to date their looks equivalent. They didn't want the average person working an average job or something like that that looks exactly like them. No, 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 no. They all were shooting for the stars, and every single time they were getting scammed. So, that's why I said that's what they get, because they were turning their nose up at the people that they actually qualify for. That's actually similar to how incels or femcels, I would mainly say incels, that's kind of how they operate. They don't want to date the people that they qualify for. And so that's why I said people who do this and they get scammed, that's what they get. You overestimated yourself. So I'm going to explain to you why these people always end up getting scammed. So this is how the game goes, okay? I will take gold diggers for example. Shira 7. We see her little clips. What type of man does she tell these gold diggers to go for? She always says date way below your league. Why? Why does she tell these women to go for ugly men? Because ugly men are going to be desperate enough to where they would let the gold digger use them. So she always tells the women to go for people below their looks. And so this is why I said people who date above their league, they're going to get scammed. So getting back to this girl on the screen, from evaluating her and her lifestyle and the way she looks, her league is not the ballers. That's not her league. I don't know why Ashley Dalton is telling her to do that. She said she went on 20 different dates with 20 different men in order to finally find the baller. If you have to do all that, it just wasn't meant for you. But if you're trying to force your delusions, you will find that man. It'll be packaged as a scam. Give it a few months to a few weeks. He will definitely break this girl's heart and run a scam on her. Okay. Have you ever fell for a text message scam? Like back in the day, one of the biggest scams would be like, you just qualified for a vacation. Send in your credit card info so that way we can send over the trip money. And it's like, That's what some of these women's dating lives remind me of. Like, they are delusional enough to believe these obvious scams that are, being presented their way. In this lady's case that we're talking about here, the obvious scam is this: wow, you just won a millionaire white man that's going to move you out the country. Quit your job, and he's going to pay all of your bills right now. That's all you have to do. Like, that's what they be falling for in their dating life. A lot of people go on about how they're victims of love bombing. If it makes the other person a narcissist to do the love bombing, right? Don't you also have a form of narcissism to accept the love bombing? Like I always say, love bombing should look strange to healthy people. Like people who are grounded in reality, they would question, like, wait a minute, why is this person doing all of this and I just met them? Serious. The way some of these men be showing up in these girls' lives, it's literally packaged as a scam. Like when people text you the vacation scams, you know that that's suspicious and random and weird because what did you do to qualify for this, right? Like nothing about you is even qualifying for that. So why do people fall for it in their dating life? I'm going to explain how they fall for this. And this is what I mean when I say you have to always look in the mirror. Okay? If you also have like narcissistic traits, this is just my theory. If you are a delusional person, you think that the love bombing behavior is normal. See, narcissistic, delusional people, people who are not grounded in reality, they see love bombing gestures like that as, oh, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, yes, of course somebody should do that for me right when they've met me. And see, this is how people end up in the getcha gotcha cycle that I be talking about, where, yeah, you're getting finesse. That's literally how scammers approach people. Like if you think about it, scams like that, that's actually like a form of love bombing. And if you're grounded in reality, you don't fall for that. But if you're like a narcissistic person who's delusional, you will actually believe that somebody wants to send you to Hawaii. Does that make sense? When so that's why I said people who are delusional, they always like they're like the perfect victims or praise for scams. Scams always work on them. Because let's take this lady for example, right? She wants the rich millionaire man, which a rich millionaire man isn't really checking for her. And I say that just because we don't question when models get that, right? Because they're models. That's their equivalent. A model usually is equivalent to a wealthy man financially. So that wouldn't be a scam. But this is an average person. So if she was my friend and she told me that a wealthy man wants to fly her out the country, I would be concerned. I would think that that's a scam. So just like the text message scam that I just explained, they people do scams with dating. It's the same thing. Scammers are intelligent and they come up with different ways to scam. So how I think of like women that fall for things like this, like love bombing, it's literally the equivalent of falling for text message scams. Like, hey, you just want an all-inclusive vacation to Hawaii. That's how you look. It's like you know not to fall for those scams. So then why do you do it in your dating life? That's literally how the guy showed up in her life. I'm going to take you out for a trip. Please move in with me. I will. I am super wealthy. I'm rich. I'm white. I will take care of you. You will never have to work again. All you have to do is pack your bags and quit your job and move out the country. So I feel like only a very toxic, delusional, and low key narcissistic person would fall for a grandiose delusion like that, a grandiose gesture like that, an over the top gesture. If something showed up like that in my life, I would be like, no, I don't qualify for this. What the heck did I do for all this? I don't know this person. This is suspicious. If I got a text message like that offering me to go on a trip, I would think it's suspicious. So why do people stop when it comes to their dating life? So that's kind of the problem, getting back to it, with these hypergamy coaches or whatever you want to call it, the sprinkle coaches, you know what I mean. Basically, they put a lot of emphasis on money. when they give like dating advice and stuff like that. And that's like the focus. Coaches like her, they tell every woman, like regular everyday woman, to go for these types of men that would never go for them. And they're going to lead these women into seriously getting hurt and screwed over and scammed. They're creating delusion in these women. I feel like the fact that you even need to be a coach and do that and tell women that is already a red flag, because women who qualify for millionaires have millionaires knocking down their door. A lot of the women that qualify for millionaires are like the models on the runway. Like I said, the models on the run, they always get the cream of the crop. They wouldn't even need to go on a channel like this and come up with strategies. And I'm not saying that only models qualify for it. Sometimes I noticed that it's always women of power, whether that be, their looks holds power because they're super beautiful, or maybe they just they're into certain like they've made certain connections and stuff like that. But these women are everyday women. And it's really sad to watch this go down because there's nothing that we can say, especially my little voice. Who am I? I told you the dating sector is just filled with single people telling other single people whatever they want to hear, whatever floats their boat, whatever delusion floats their boat. So it's funny because whenever I get people that don't like my channel, I can actually understand why they wouldn't like it because I am not the common voice online. I'm not the typical voice. The dating industry online, men or women, it's filled with single, unmarried people voicing what they think about relationships. And you already know it's going to be some awful, miserable, hateful type of advice. If not that, it'd be some like scheme, how to finesse. And then it's like, if you even use your critical thinking skills, you can see why these people can never keep long term relationships. Sure, they might be in one for a sec, they might be married for a sec, quickly divorced, quickly single. I'm not trying to shame single people. I have to just clock these types. Okay? I have to. They're toxic. They're the loudest, most boisterous one. And it's like, I just think it's the blind leading the blind. Also, I wanted to say women like this girl on the screen that's wearing the green. It's these cycles, like lately I've been interested in examining cycles that causes women to be so hateful and bitter. And it's cycles like this. It's where they will be deliberately signing up for terrible situations and then obviously inevitably something bad is absolutely going to happen, okay? And then when you're hurt, what do? Let's be real here. Like when you get heartbroken, the first thing you do, you go online and try to self-soothe. And then there will be a community right there telling you, girl, I know they all ain't ish. Join the crowd. And then see, cycles like that, it's toxic because it doesn't get the woman to self-reflect on where she went wrong and take accountability for her own life. Like I've already acknowledged on my channel, no, there is absolutely evil people out there. You have to take certain steps to try your best to avoid that. And then someone had said in the comment section, they were saying you're like almost 40 doing this. This is like somebody said she's acting like a 19-year-old. Well, yeah, when you see like slow older women, it's because they go through their whole life doing this and they never self-reflect to see, wait a minute, let me trace back the steps and see where I went wrong, and not in a way where it blames the other person. No, I'm talking about focus on you. A lot of women cannot do that. Their accountability is, oh well, I should have never chose this bad man. No. How about, why did you qualify for him? That's the question you need to be asking. But see, when you see older, dumb women like this that still act like they're 18, it's because, like I said, they go through their whole entire life without self reflecting. Her behavior is embarrassing, and it's no excuse for, I think she's like 37 or something like that. There is no excuse for a woman of that age to be doing stuff like this and acting like that. By 37, you have seen the patterns of life. You by 37, you should have already picked up that that is a scam. So I don't have any grace to give like older women that act slow. What is your excuse? You're older. You literally have the upper hand on a lot of younger people. You have the advantage. You've seen life. You've seen the patterns of life. When you get older, you start to realize like life has patterns, and that's kind of like how you start to develop wisdom. You can just clock when things go wrong. By 37, you should be able to develop that skill. So, yeah, I have to go. So I was enjoying the holidays with my husband. I had to, put a pause to that to do this video. I have a lot more that I want to say, but I just wanted to push this video out. Yeah, I think so. All really Ashley had to say at the end was, "Girl, you need to fix your hair." And then this girl was like, "Well, hard wig, soft life." So, I've been pulled back from the dating sector a while ago. Like I said, if people keep wondering, well, where's the people in marriages and healthy relationships? Why don't they talk? Well, because our opinion is rare, and it's like it'll challenge your ego, and you won't want to hear that. Like people don't want to, feel pain or their ego challenged in order to get better results. So they gravitate towards remedial coaches that don't challenge them in any type of way, because there's a whole lot more things that this girl needs to fix besides her hairstyle. So, the internet, I noticed though, a lot of toxic people that don't get along with people in real life, they come to the internet to find a community and socialize. And that's why toxicity, it thrives on the internet. And then any healthy voices, it's like they look at you like you're the crazy one. This is why I've been pulled back. Once I was giving normal dating advice and I seen the way these radical crazies was calling me male censored, because I would be saying things like, well, here's my game. I'm gonna give you my game card. I don't struggle in the dating department. Like one example that I said was, study the colors that they like and show up in that dress. And I got called male censored. Straight women are supposed to take interest in men. So once I seen how the internet likes to reject science, biology, and facts and data and just come up with their own delusions, to me, that's a form of mental illness, and I cannot compete with that. A lot of what qualifies for people to be mentally ill, it's a detachment from reality. I'm serious. Even if you look at psychosis, the definition is a detachment from reality. It's a break from reality. So if reality is right in front of you, and this is just a quick Google search, this is just biology, it's just science. If you're straight, it's normal to take interest in the opposite gender. And I noticed that, there's just a lot of mental illness going on online. And I thought I was just going to be able to come in and just give advice. No, no, no. That's something a psychiatrist has to fix. Okay? It's insanity to reject facts and reject biology and reject science. Okay? So I'm serious. You can actually look at the bottom of my page, right? Go all the way to the bottom, scroll back all the way a year ago when I first started. I heavily was doing like dating content. I take interest in that topic because I'm really good in that department. And yeah, you can see how I was just saying basic things, like it's just basic concepts. Like men should do the same thing. I actually said that. I said, men, if you're interested in women, you need to study women and know what women like. That's one of the many errors that I seen in dating. It's like the people that struggle with dating, it's because they don't take the time to actually get to know the gender that they're trying to date, right? That's just common sense. And you have mentally ill crowds that see facts of life and science as like they're just detached from it. And yeah, they try to override it and make up their own concepts. Well, yeah, I can't fight against a delusional mind that's going to do what it wants to do. Nope, I'm going to reject this and do something else. And anyone that honors biology, we're going to call you male centered. Okay? Anytime you're rejecting reality, that's a form of mental illness. I noticed that people don't need dating advice, they need a psychiatrist. Yeah, it's also psychotic to go, I want a partner, but I don't want to do anything to please them, accommodate them, give them what they want, but I still want a partner. Yeah, that's how this generation operates. And I think that it's very just psychotic. Um, and once I seen, I'm like, wait a minute, there's like levels to a really good relationship, and we can't even get past entry level one because you think that accommodating or putting your partner first is male centered. Yeah, so I left these girls where they're at. I do more of my dating advice stuff for members, and literally, one of my members, she just emailed me her testimony. She took one of my tips. Shout out to this member. She has been very cooperative, taking a lot of my tips. I mainly do that behind the paywall. So I give good tips behind the paywall. But every now and then I still will give my takes. So yeah, I realize I very quick, I'm like, oh, no, no, no. They're not mentally there yet to even handle basic advice, let alone, really good advice. No, 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 no. So once that started happening, oh no, 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 I pulled back, and now I just listen to these, like, me and my partner sometimes we watch videos like these, right? And we sit back and laugh, and quite frankly, that's what people in healthy relationships do. They let you guys take the microphone since y'all know it all, and we just laugh at the goofiness that comes from, these spaces or what they have to say. And it's so funny because videos keep popping up like, why is this generation having a dating crisis? Well, number one, fix the gender war. Okay, you can try to fix that. That's a start. It's kind of hard to try to date if you hate the opposite gender. So that's like, it's just funny. So, at first when I came on YouTube, right, my content is really aimed at women because I would see where women were going wrong and I felt like I could help them. Now I've just kind of pulled back, and all of my good advice is like for members only. So, yeah. All right, guys. Bye.